Okay. Um. Yeah, guys. Yep. Rocking with the next one today. Rocking with this one, right? This one I can tell you. Know on YouTube we hear all these truths, right? All these different truths and these different ways to live on and this and stuff like that. But you would want to know, you know what I mean? And give you guys some advice, some really godlike advice. You know what I mean? How to melt off permanently the ice truth. Whatever area in your life has emotionally, logically, physically, mentally, internally, in different areas in your life, and how to melt it off and stuff. And I guess depending on the situation, you know what I mean. And well, it's not everyone's situation different. Everyone, there's a ice blockage, and everyone's situation is different. Some people could emotionally be able to do this here and logically, but some people it's a little hard because of the past. And I'll use these three analogies like ice, water, and the ocean. You understand me? And in the beginning of time, the ice age, then how it melts to water, and then there's the pure ocean, right? So, the beginning of time when you're kind of stuck in insecurities, you're frozen internally or externally or even physically or spiritually in any way, you need the power of God. You need someone to explain. You need to do something out of your character nature that you begin to melt like flows better for you. You need to stop listening to you people give you advice because I hate it, right? I hate people that everyone's a little Yoda Lena, where they call me these little guidance people, and oh, from experience, this, and I'm a person to see in reality. I hope what you have to say how it works in reality because I'm tired of it. You go on YouTube and people's lives are in your hand, and then someone in reality gets messes up because you're gonna tell them stupidness and it works. You see, this is coming from when they say stuff coming from a real place that it will work, guaranteed. You understand me? But it just causes you physically to do things a little bit beyond where your comfort zone. You understand me? Ice is only made for certain animals to be on that world. You understand me? Look at any normal person would like be in water or the ocean, correct? The sea, salt water, fresh water, right? Correct. I've never been to the ice beach before. I come from Barbados. So as you said, like ice is only made for certain ice age animals. You know what I mean? So in your life, as you said, to melt that, or if you've been burnt, to permanently heal, or to not have that issue in your life. You know what I mean? And I'm not, it's no attack. I know some people love their truths because you don't have that problem, because you're a type of way, and all these truths, but it's no attack on these different psychological these truths you believe in because it's just your nature. But I find that when people are living in fear or religion, or when it comes to change, it can be a little hard now because again you're stuck, and again because you're fearful or you're afraid of, and because the opposite ice is to feel pain, and heat is pain, power is pain. You know what I mean? Energy is pain. It is painful. You got to stop. You know what I mean? You have to understand that. You know what I mean? You can't grow without pain. So they call growth pains, growing pains. You understand me? And you can't avoid that either. You know what I mean? And if you look at your personality, you look at the sanguine, melancholic, chloric, phlegmatic, the melancholic, sanguine. If you look at their different functions, you see what if you did a diagnostics on yourself and you saw why then you function the way you do. And I'm a man of power. I'm a man to buy weapons, guns. And it's not going to solve if someone functions different than you. Because if someone functions to be on ice, they have to melt. And if it's not anyone to do it, they have no choice to do it. Because you're not with how you are, you're not going to make evil wrong when evil is actually right. And because as you said, because their morality suits them, anyone morality at the beginning of time, I've never think these kind of animals never always a mistake. Sorry, it's a not twist a mistake. You know what I mean? I get that. I mean, and I can be honest, a lot of some of these YouTubers, some high-end people don't like to admit when they're wrong. They don't like to admit that, their advice does not work all the time, or they don't admit that I'm not always the best option, always the best guy, but I can admit that I was trash. I wasn't the best version of myself. You know what I mean? I was very icy in very areas. I wasn't the best with women. And wasn't you know I wasn't creative. I always like to just take things and kind of move on my own. And I had a lot of boyish, girlish, gender neutral ways I didn't like. I'm developing myself to be a hyper masculine guy. I'm trying to grow into that. You know what I mean? I've seen the wrong and evil things. I'm a man to go through the furnace to see the wrong and evil stuff. So when I say things coming from a real place, it's not to make you feel bad, not to make you feel good. It's not to say, oh, this way is the best way, and it's not to say that keep yourself like a turtle. Take it from someone who does like this all the time. So when I say stuff, it's not to make people is like is there's certain things you might against your character or nature you want to start doing, because if you get the real thing and the real thing hits you and it's not going to chill, because a lot of people I've heard testimonies that he was not going to chill. It's going to make you want to switch up a little bit. Evil don't chill. See, for anyone who comes from a real place, like a bullet thing will stop, and it doesn't matter how attractive. It doesn't matter if you're sweet. It don't matter anger. When fists flying and you get hit, that's life. Regardless gender, you can't get. I don't care what you want or what you look like to get. You're never that animal. You're wasting time. Where there's a Bigfoot, there's a Yeti. Whatever you wish that you had, or you want, or you're trying to be like, you know, you want to be a toughest guy, and then you got a modelly face. Like whatever you want, like you're wasting time, honestly. Cause I wouldn't even take you serious. You look at me, I look modelly. I do martial arts. I go and try to date women. It's like whatever you're trying to be tough or trying to be so masculine, whatever you try to be, are the most womanizing looking girl on the planet. Whatever you want to be, you're wasting time. I can tell you this. Take it out and just be natural. Just be normal, because these are the personality that's better than you. Don't just better, like something a little bit more than you. And say whatever you want in life, that's what he called the ice. Whatever you want, just melt it. It's just wasting time. You gotta think there's competition, just stop it. There's no competition, because you can't compete with personality when it comes to love. Whatever introvert or extrovert suits, it will have to connect. You can't fight that. There's something even beyond you. Morality is a power even beyond feelings and sensing. It will hurt you because personality suits this person. There's nothing you can do about it. I go on Instagram, there's no amount of gym you could lift, there's no booty this. All that in your personality still fits this. It still fits that. You can't do nothing about it. You can't change who you feel. If someone looks at their personality and runs, you can't do anything to change it, or because if you do all that, it's good for you, but you still can't change how they feel because they know how they are and you know their personality. You know what I mean? And this is basically called melting the ice, melting what stuck you. I always like making me feel is they know, not making me feel this way, making me stuck when they know like this is wrong, right? You know what I mean? You're not gonna when the devil throws challenges at you, you're not gonna lose because you greater he is in me, he is in the world. When there's disrespect that coming your way because of a natural mindset, not disrespect is not a God, and what I'm telling you, this is a personality or the devil. You know to stop with disrespect and not put up with that foolishness ever again. Disrespect is great. It's not good, and it may not be bad. It may not be intentful. It may be a bad habit, but it's not good either. It's not something you should put up with. And I've seen a lot of videos, and I agree, you don't put up with disrespect in your life, especially if you're real and you're an adult and you're making like me. I could see for example like me going through changes and stuff. Maybe I could witness to someone out there who's going through changes, who's going through a transformation, and me developing, becoming more of a man and stuff like that in different ways. You know what I mean? And growing up in Barbados wasn't just the best version of myself. And I had no sad story. Nothing wrong happened. I get shoot. I know gang. Just like any other black Caribbean guy, just like what I mean, church and God and part of something. And I think it's pretty normal. You know what I mean? Just like any other guy around me. You know what I mean? Just my life has always been very mainly God centered, and I'm not religious. I'm just gonna let y'all know on YouTube, I'm not a religious guy. I'm throwing no Jesus Christ in your face. I ain't judging you. I ain't coming like that because I used to smoke weed. I used to, do the whole 9 yards, women and all that there. And I believe to put your light in the darkness, believe to put your fire to the match. If you're power, then put your power to the match. Because in a church or at home, you can say that all believers, all these different atheists, or Pentecostal, agnostic, whatever belief you have. You can be the sweetest person in your home. You can make sense in your home. You don't believe nothing, but explain stuff beyond your here, right? All these beliefs, Judaism, whatever, Catholicism, whatever beliefs you have in your brain, you can keep saying this, but then what is it? Because it suits your nature. You see any guy you find that has like a what you call it, lazy mental nature that's not spiritual. He's an atheist because in your mind, we're created. There's this energy that made us, and that's pretty much it for you. You understand me? Any person that is too spiritual or energy, you don't believe that. You don't have common sense. Or something's bad is good, and as bad as I don't care the Bible. Sometimes it comes to people's feelings, bad is actually good. I'm sorry to say that. Or there's some people like, now don't judge this sin, but this sin's actually worse. So I'm sorry that people rather struggle with this A than B. There's something. There's even. I mean, like everything is matched. Every nature, every truth you have is matched. You can never say no one is ever like top tier. Because if one person me can say, yeah, I can show you why I disapprove and disagree. I can show you life right here now. And I mean, I don't care how you take it. Some people can't. A lot of people can't do that. Even people with a lot of powers, like they can't. I'll match them. Metal matches rock, correct? You know what I mean? A planet matches the moon, right? So something that match you is if you think that, I'm very serious. That you think you're always right, no, you're not. Because there's no way in life as a martial arts, a warrior, I fighting real life looking, Kratos looking dudes. Just to prove how masculine I am. Trying to move on from the past. Oh, this and because I used to be a male minister, dancer, and God. I want to be so masculine. Oh, this and da. I used to go and shake a leg. You know what I mean? But as a black African Barbadian, I don't want to be looked at as an attractive guy that all I can do is dance. That's kind of stupid. You know what I mean? I can't go up to a girl and just have a proper conversation. I can't just be not like school. I just can't be floaty. I just can't have a normal, secure conversation, right? There's people 39 years old and still at 12 years old because they're stuck on ice, right? So as a 32-year-old, a more mature black male, I have to, I rail like this, I 32 like this, and old fashioned like this. I gotta, and my power is my stand. My morality is my stand. Is not me putting you down or destroying people. It's not me being above. I'm meeting a lot of adult children, and when they're humble and when they're embarrassed, it's good for them. And then they use age and use the ice truth about me, right? More bearded and more bestial, whereas more. It's like I couldn't control my life. You know what I mean? I came out real skinny. I came out. Yeah, look, I used to look like flipping. Look, a flipping vampire as a baby. I was pale skin with blue eyes and long. I didn't look like this. You know what you want is like you want me to do is like, I wasn't raised come out more so. You know what I mean? All that was handed to me from Barbados was, oh, dance hall. You get whole a half piece of God, read the Bible, kind of pray about it, and still go out and do your thing. Surrounded by guys that black men that just all this do is smoke weed, find out with God, have sex with a lot of girls, you know, emulate or copy all these dancing guys. You like a lot of these American dancing guys, the Jamaican guys, because coming from the Caribbean, that's all he is American, African. So that's one guy to. That's just what I was stuck with. All of them were horrible. Some dudes were horrible with each other. Like all I care was women. I wasn't the smoothest with women, but I was trying. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And when you look at the personality, you look at different natures and different personalities, you can't beat yourself up. I've always stressed this on my videos and pray that people watch these. It's like when you take the MBTI, temperament, the morality, you can't do it yourself. It's like, yeah, I could have only done. Look how I really am. Look, you know what I mean? You might have a hybrid, like you might have a hybrid sense of, an adventurer or a humanitarian. You might have a temperament, like you might feel like this, but then when you do a full, you look at it, it's like you don't ever beat yourself up. And I pray that and I speak out, don't beat yourself up what you was, because that's just who you are. If you're an analyst, you can't help but be mental. You couldn't help but you're a humanitarian. You couldn't help but be just your people, your religion. It's a very religious personality. They're very religious by nature, like a beehive, like an ant's nest, because that's all you raise around. That's literally all you even know. As a saint, though, I couldn't feel bad for my life not being put together. From the time I could tell you, I was traveling. I went Australia. I was born in Barbados, born and raised. When Australia was young, then when I was traveling all the way to come Canada, this, that, America, went Italy, I went travel so many places with family without them. So to be secured as a black African, I had to go to African church to get my mind. You know what I mean? I kind of had life moving in this way in a different environment and still being this. And my life was all over the place. You know, it was raised around people that had these habits that I started to grow to, started to just feel it was very goofy. Like any other black mixed dude on the planet, yeah, you know, video games, anime. And it just kind of grew, it started to feel goofy. It started to feel like kind of nerdy and goofy. You know what I mean? It affects, you know, it affects your brain, it affects how you think in life and how you function, it affects how you are with women. Like whatever you watch, you want to be a Marvel character, you want to be an anime guy, and you really, I mean, like I used to move like that. I won't argue. I used to be very deep into that. But for me, everyone's nature is different. They can only speak how they feel. And feelings is like fire from the smoke. And it's like it comes from a real place. It's not magma. It's not your true nature. As to why then, but I can speak how I feel. You know what I mean? And you know, even though I'm a thinker by nature, I just you know I'm a scientist, so I try to, as I said, like I'm working on, as I said, like on myself. I didn't explain how you feel about things, which I've struggled with and I'm a lot better. You know, it's part of his YouTube page and I'm praying to God and stuff a lot. I tell God how you feel and tell people how you feel and stuff. And feeling affects people, but you have to hear it from a good place. And there's a good way of um, translating it. There's a good way, there's a normal way, there's bad ways, there's personal, there's raw ways, there's different ways of saying how you feel, how you think, what the case is, different ways of communication. But as I said, like I just didn't want to be known my whole life being a darky looking, half dance, anime, half religious, half loose in the world, half you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? So it's like wanted it to be 200% solid, 200% this, 200% radical in the world of God, 200% fearless, 200% risk taking, 200% bold, 200% going the right way, 200% looking, you know, developing themselves as a man. That's the choices I choose to make. This is the ice. The whole point of this video is explaining myself, melting the ice off my old life that does not suit me. It was not an animal, it was not the snake. I'm the lizard. Let the snake come do the snake's job. Right? You know what I mean? You saw what I used to be a copy of the snake, but I'm not the snake. You know what I mean? I used to do, you know what I mean? So I tell people like in life, like don't ever beat yourself up in life, man. Don't ever feel so bad. Don't feel bad for change. Show you've changed. Like me, show I've created 3 dimensions of solidifying my ID. You know what I mean? Me developing, becoming as a man. You know, no longer I'm not no boy man, no you know, no girl boy, no gender neutral, none of that. A man, black, African Barbadian. Simple. You know what I mean? Done. I mean, ain't no goofy ways. There ain't no mixed mind. There's none of that crap. I mean, as a sentinel, you gotta be honest to your personality. I tell you, I've drilled this. If you take it, you understand your personality. You gotta like choose a healthy version. Choose what aligns yourself. You know, choose what makes sense in your life. Life can't always be all over the place. You can't be off believing in all these energies, all these things. You know what I mean? You can't compromise all the time. You know what I mean? I don't believe in because I'm not religious or fearful. Compromise is not bad, but you gotta know what religion or what mindset you could break. That's real. The difference between compromising is breaking like a hard mindset. You know what I mean? Learning to be fearless, learning to feel what's the right way, not to compromise and be stubborn and just you say this and always do that. That's not good. You know what I mean? I've looked at internally things that wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good for me to be uncomfortable with emotions. It wouldn't be good for me to be so aggressive. It wouldn't be good for me to always say in a situation I feel attacked all the time. You know, it wouldn't be good for me to self-identify, right? Self-identify and think I'm living the sweet life to make me feel good, which is actually a sin. Because life ain't supposed to feel good. Jesus Christ, right, was a Jew, right? And if you read the Bible, he didn't feel good. A lot of people that are high end, Jimmy, look at Jesus. Jesus was a piece of God's DNA. And he showed he had to live life human. So who are people to go and live off in the life? Nobody don't tell you nothing. You don't grow. You don't mature. You know what I mean? You don't think you're wrong. Everyone is wrong. I could be wrong. I mean, even pastors could be wrong. Anyone could be seriously wrong. You understand me? It'd be very stupid of you to think that you couldn't be wrong. You can be wrong. Or think that, your way is always where you could be wrong because there's evil that's your way too. I know evil that's me. Evil that loose and oh, this was good. At least I do it for good reason. And hey, when you feel away and your normal way don't work for you, we want people to do. You know what I mean? I don't like the ice truth. I don't like being, I don't know you guys, I don't like being in second place all the time. I don't like being in third place. You should be in first place. You should get the prize. You understand me? I don't like things stuck. You should have weight of the past on you. That's why it can change is very hard because some people, it's not you, it's like people in your personal life hold on to weight. They hold on, or they like the worst. They like the past. They think you should be that. You're doing too much. Trying to grow on, you're like, it's too risk taking. And you need encouragement to say, no, you keep doing it. You throw off that weight. You deal with the past. Because you know what God's gonna say, or you know, you're gonna get a piece of what this person is getting to see why they're changing. You know what I mean? When you like to protect yourself, you're gonna see then why then. You understand me? If you're an animal, you're a little less. You like a lot of Barney all the time, and someone's a real lizard dealing with dinosaurs. One day, Asian lizards will come in and breathe in your face and get a little real with you too, because you like a lot of Barney. Maybe that should happen to a lot of people. You know what I mean? Then you like to disrespect people and say, "Oh, they're stupid and this and that and this." And actually, half my reason was because of other people. Look what I am by myself. From the age of 25, and I say any woman or man, the age of 25, that's the real you. So at the age of 25, I realize I'm old fashioned. I'm not that stupid. I don't self-identify. I'm sorry, I got African Barbadian energy, right? Look who brings their crap. I'm not there anymore. I cut that off. Look who's really full of foolishness. I looked at these ways to melt off the ice truth about your brain and emotions and all these. As a black person, looked at all of Africa, all of it, to the Caribbean, to Africa, and America, to Americans, to their cut off religion, to my private religion. Why then some animals are the worst thing, the best thing. Oh, you're always a problem. They're not a problem. I'm like, really? Okay. So I could see why from the beginning of time why. I checked the roots of all the trees. So it makes me laugh too. I'm the worst thing. Okay, I can say that about you too. Man, is it funny? Because I wish you get what I get. And say I'm the worst thing. I can make sure you get what I get too. And it's not saying the worst thing. Because if you say, because I could see why. From the beginning of time, I could definitely see why I'm the worst thing. And you're the best thing, and all these stupid things. You're always the best thing and the worst thing. You understand? Because it's funny. You understand me? But as I said, these is where you say like because in the earth is magma and this burns off, even that it burns off their sight, way people perceive you and your judgment, feeling like don't judge me. Burns off mentality. There's things I'm telling you, when you see the real truth of things, the truth so powerful. I don't care how stubborn, hard headed you are, it has to change. Because it ain't true. And you'll be shocked who's full of crap now. On a serious level. You understand me? You don't know people. I've always been influenced by healthy. I've always been influenced by caloric, by change, by stepping out and doing the unknown. You have to do things out of your character. If you like a guy, all these rich dudes that teach guys how to. Some guys can't call approach really like that. You have to put yourself in a hedonistic environment to feel a woman, and if that's, it might sound wrong. It might sound, but why would Hosea tell God tell Hosea marry a prostitute? Oh, some guys can be married. Is like, what we can do? You can't get through at church, right? You can't get through in your social lifestyles. Where else you can go to find a woman? You know what I mean? Like, you can't keep putting your eggs in one basket. You can't be stuck. You don't like pornography. I don't like pornography. It's nasty and weird. Right? I don't need to do it. I'm an attractive guy. You could do all it. Why do you need to watch pornography? Where else you can go? And then religion teaches you like fake religion. Right? Forget religion. Reality is like no one's perfect. Don't judge people. But you have to do things outside your nature. Don't judge people, man. Personality is more than everything. Don't let all this thing with God and Holy Spirit. Listen, he just was a pastor and he was sucking dick with a kid and a wife. I don't say telling people wife, but he's still sucking dick. And he's still struggling with it. After him, like don't judge people. You understand me? Don't ever in life judge people. Don't ever in life judge anybody. You understand? Love is love, man. Come without religion, come without fear. Come without foolishness, stop minding the past, stop minding the old weight. Don't look at who you were, look at who you is now. Be encouraged with who you are now. Don't look at who you was. Become the best version you can ever be in your life. Get the best results and get through. Don't mind the animal is against you. Don't mind the animal that reminds you all the time. Always keep reminding you. I don't. I know it's hard. I know change around. I've seen the situation change is hard around people. There's always one reminding you all the time, reminding you. There's always one against you. Everything you say. You tell well, that's your personality. It's up for you. You know what I mean? You say against me, but then gonna leave my life. Gonna catch your airplane, gonna live on another planet. Cause hey, you want to be a demon? I got weapons for you for real. Cause honestly, that kind of talk, because it kind of sound like demon language. And some ice you need to melt for real, on a serious level. Cause it's encouraging me living in some bad times. But it said, oh, in times I will pour my Holy Spirit upon you. But telling what I saying, the last things that even pride will rise too. You gotta be careful. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to live a war life. I don't want to live a life. I'm a barbarian. I ain't a, you know what I mean? I'm here, Conan the barbarian. I ain't, I ain't living this life trying to test my manhood. Like, I mean, that's what you say, stop on your man. You mean you don't play video, you want to do testing manhood like a little kid. And what that stupid life, bro. You understand me? I live not probably life. Like, everything you passive. Like, you don't have the purpose to do anything. It's passive for you, and you know what I mean. I'm not playing little passive games with you. Or you know better, and you keep switching up. You know why you keep switching up too. You know these things, all these ice truths. Well, because the ice cold reason for this and the ice cold reason for that, and oh this and this and no one cares, man. Because if you the ocean will have that problem. If you worry about flowing, right? If you worry about substantial, we worry about hot, we worry about what's have more in depth. You're gonna have that issue. You understand me? Stop worrying about one stupid truth that's dumb. I find it stupid. They made for certain animals in the entire world. Let certain animals be like that. It's only made for certain animals. Because water is holy, is godly. The Bible talks about water, the Bible talks about the earth, the Bible talks about metal, the Bible talks about the rock, the Bible talks about heat, it talks about power. And Islam is righteous, which is something you need to have. Certain truths I hear on the internet, I mean warn you guys, I won't listen to them either. Ain't helping you. You say this and how you feel. I mean how you feel, man. I mean how you feel. I seen you guys take the wrong advice. So well, there you go. You take average advice. There you go, you get average results. You take unhealthy advice and you're almost dying, you're stuck. You ain't getting through. I laugh. I still look at them. It's like whatever. I laugh. It's like yeah. I hop in. I'm radical like this, man. I always outgoing. I speak from a real place. I still there. Like yeah. I want to see our healthy or average advice work for you. I want to see it. I want to see because I voice it. I show you my results. These YouTubers they talk, but I want to see some results, right? They're telling you this and telling you that, and you're this and you're the leaners and guidance and teaching and guidance and the wisdom. I want to see what you do in reality. That's where I'm at now. I'm getting a little tired of all this. These adult kids, these adult idiots, these little adult babies. You know what I mean? I want to see what you say in reality, man. I want to see how secure you really are in reality. These adult babies, right? I'm tired of them too. These adult babies. Because I know for me, I had to get three-dimensional real. I create one dimension that I wasn't raised for. Create another dimension that almost messed me up. I create another dimension that if I didn't do this, I couldn't speak or I couldn't disapprove to agree. If people say this and I don't want to hear that, I want to see why. And if they like they can't tell me why, at least I can show you why. I give you reasons or show you more why. You understand me? I could be 32, but I just show you already I'm 32. I'm not 32 and then 15 years old, all over again. And that doesn't raise around. I can count how many times. I'm 49, but I'm still stuck at 12 years old. No, I want to teach you. Oh, these truths, I'm 52 years old. You're still stuck at 10 years old. How many times? Because all day long unhealthy, all day long average, all day long an idiot, all day long the same thing. When you get on you, it's gonna be a joke. I've done it to people. They didn't like it. Some people don't like the one truth. When you get on you see you don't like it. You understand me? And they want to come and they tell you watch these YouTubers, man. All these things and things, all these stuff that has been happening ever since. There's nothing new, no, nothing amazing, nothing spontaneous, no, it's been happening ever since. It has names. Right? I'm just here to warn you guys in the middle of that foolishness. Like, don't ever feel the way. I don't feel stuck flowing life, man. I know the hardest one that always agree, always against. And then the weight of the past and things coming back. And even though you're a good person, you might attack back and like do things that, and say this, but don't worry about that. Because you have to be challenged. If I want to be stronger, I have to lift heavy weights. I have to position myself that it might hurt. I have to risk lifting heavier to get stronger. You understand me? If I want to be the best, I have to spar guys powerful than me, bigger than me. It's outside your control now. If you want to get better at dating, you want to get better at anything in life, you have to literally actualize what you say and think. You can't just stop there and like think. You gotta feel it. You gotta move and feel. You can't stop and think all the time. I mean, your mind hurt. I know that for some people, maybe it could be your job. I understand your job, or maybe your job, or like who you are personally. I know my life makes me very like I have to think about my home, my car, this, that, this. I need a schedule. It's kind of hard, you know what I mean? Like if the naps don't work, and stuff like that is like if you got no choice, a cold approach. In a cold approach, you want results, you got no choice to step your game up. So it's like stuff like that. It's like, you know what I mean? Or you got no choice to go places where you not be the best because you literally have no choice. Or you can't always trust the church. Everyone, some people might, some people can't. And so you can't stop there for the rest of your life and say, oh God, give me a husband or wife. You know what I mean? If it doesn't, or it's not always going to be like that. It won't be like that for everyone. Sometimes the way that it's supposed to go may not always be like that for everyone. It can't flow like that. It does not connect with you. I've known so many people married in a church with kids and they still divorce. So explain to me that now. I know guys who marry just to have sex because if you have one, two sex, you're gonna die. We'll judge a man that could stab you 1,000 times. You could stab women with a dick. Judge a man could stab a woman 1,000 times. Tell me which one's gonna go to hell. One is like, well, everyone feels to have sex. Honestly, we would type. One, that's not normal. It's not normal for me to get angry and stab someone 1,000 times. And then what you're gonna say, oh God, I'm sorry, I just killed someone. And then the person like, yeah, you see, well, at least it's normal, right, to have sex. It's not normal to stab someone 1,000 times. You want to compare sending these truths on the online? You want to compare these truths online? You want to start this? You know what I mean? You want to compare all these adult kids because you're scared and hide it. Everyone's opposite to me. Everything in the home, a computer, hiding away, religion. You're stepping outside, like, little, you know what I mean? Little dumb. Yeah, that's what they look like too. They look like that and it's stupid. You're not their age. You think I'm joking? You know what I mean? Or they're ignorant. They want something to look completely different. They're not even made for that. Because they know they're still stuck on the ice. And out here flowing on ocean. Or melting you. You need the truth, give you advice to help you melt so you can start flowing. It takes ice to break. It melts over time. You just want like, it won't happen like that. It's English. I watch things with nature. It takes the heat takes it time to melt. Just like metal. I work with metal. I'm a welder. Intense heat will melt it and forge differently. You understand? But see, it takes heat. It takes you to get out yourself. You have to do it. Because cold makes everything stuck. And anemia makes you freeze up. Your blood clots and freeze. Makes your brain hurts. But the heat provides energy. The heat provides a rapid flow. It gives you energy and it is your body. You know what I mean? Even when you work out and stuff like that, things you need. I don't care who is it, like who does it, doesn't matter. Stop looking at life like that. For some people, you need to stop looking at life like that and understand the truth about you. Stop seeing life like that. There's always somebody like you, or somebody like you that I don't like either. But hey, it don't mean that an issue. You know what I mean? I had to take advice from animals that I ain't raised around, and that wasn't a problem. That's life. But hey, stop making it the issue. You understand? So these truths, it's a bit of a warning too. Like I feel it, spirit, like warning you guys, like for real, like stop. I beg of you, just like COVID, just make sure the purge. Know your personality, know yourself. You need to know yourself. Run that diagnostics, run that mental diagnostics, the MBTI, run that function diagnostics, run the temperaments, and the more important, I'll save your life, run your morality. Because if you think three things, you think you're the only one who thinks and feels that way and can do what you do, you're not. If you think you're the only one who's tired too, I want to change too. I am out that change. I'm melting the ice off permanently too, and I can show it. If you think you're the only one who's unfortunately your personality is to be that, and you have to be shown that. You have to respect people for where they're at now. No one's evil. God and Satan, they fight. When it comes to teaching people, not teaching, sorry, people advice. You have to explain to people that might like that. Let the animal be. Let me show you the animal for it. Then why? Then or why then you're a disciple way. So then things are like water is just at a cooling point, and you see where you flow. You flow that way, I flow this way. Simple. Because honestly, one voice that always everyone is what God tells them. If God telling you to do something, God told Joshua and God told King David and God told Samson, it's for a serious reason. No man can take you away. We see a Delilah comes. You understand me? Saul's in the way. You understand me? Joshua, maybe issues. It's always something that it's not gonna flow easy. It's always something in the way, something that attacks you, something that, try to offstirs you, offsets you for a reason. I mean, you gotta be strong, you gotta be powerful, you gotta be secured. You know what I mean? You can't let people get in your head. You see, ID one dimension that was even attacking me a lot was my sense of ID. It was bad. I pray to God He's aligning me. My ID was horrible. My ID was so horrible. I mean, it was causing issues in my life too. I didn't have the much highest IQ growing up. You understand me? And I just decided to really man up one day. I can speak on myself. I decided to really man up. I'm growing to man up. Really wanting to get myself in order and become a lot more hyper masculine and stuff like that, and create three dimensions as a man. As a African Barbadian, knowing my true roots, my true ancestry. The way then Paul is the way he is. Like, you know what I mean? But when they move, we move. When they do what they do. You understand me? And as another dimension of being a martial artist is not only that, like dimensions of learning other skills and being more skilled, learn a bit more of a technician, or just being dimension of where I'm creating and learning more skills rather than just creating 1,000 dance moves, which is not gonna do anything. Learning how to be social, a dimension where I'm learning skills, learning social skills. You're learning really skills, so change tires, you're learning skills and not just financial skills, you know what I mean? And not just stuck, creating 1,000 dance moves. Like you're still 15. You see the ice truth is horrible. I'm telling you this. Honestly, if you're not like 55 or 60% of adults that actually grow up are like say like, I can see why, certain things I get kind of tired of too. Or just because, you would get tired of someone who's still stuck. I'm not joking, you would. You think this is out of a bad place? I'm telling you, if you hang with them, you would get upset. You can't take it. Like it's like I'm trying to get a little upset. No, I'm trying to get like, yeah, I can see why no. Fine, some of you are not extreme like you. Like I'm extreme. I want to be extremely healthy. I want, that's just who I am. So serious I am. I was a pillar in Barbados. I was a strong African Barbadian pillar. I started in era you can understand. Like I speak from a point. I'm the ESTJ. You understand me? A very powerful ESTJ. Some person has a very like a figurehead, honestly, where I'm from. You understand me? So I'm not just the average. It's not from an arrogant place. I'm very humble. Paul means humble. It's not from an arrogant place. From a place of a high ground. Like I on the same level as the actual African. Where I could dance just like I could move just like an actual Jamaican. So it's like, why would I need my ID? Why would I some guys, why would they need something or be on lesser than, or you can sound white, and someone who's extremely needs to change it on that extreme level. So that's why like it does not come from a place of arrogance or cockiness or trying so hard to be all of that. I've shown humility too many times, and then when I gotta get real, 32-year-old, yeah, real, then coming out is real heat, real power. You know what I mean? And Google crap. They tired of hearing all the time because I'm scared. So it's not like my extreme is not coming from a place of arrogance or being all of that. And King David, when God told him to do it, he had to be a king and a warrior. You understand? He's not coming from that. Whether who likes it or not. Because if I'm surrounded by 20 people who like it, I'll feel better. But when you're not, you see, and I'm giving encouragement, you'll feel bad. It's like, oh, am I listening? Like, I'm don't trouble and this, but look at the challenges. You pass the challenges. Look at who will come and see life from your side, who functions like you, who thinks like similar to you. I know it's hard because you're not surrounded by numbers. Numbers encourage you, but you're surrounded by and those two idiots, those two I guess in your head. I'm always opposite to you, and I know I'm always against you. Ones I'm always against you. I like the past, and always I'm opposite to what you're doing. Those are the two like animals that get to you, obviously because their personality is to be that way. I mean, you see that, you understand, it gives you that strength. It's like, oh, I see why. It's to be that way. It's not for you to grow. It's not for you to, it's just to be that way. You understand me? You're not that person. You're not who you were in the past anymore. Melt that ice. Create those dimensions. Get real. You know what ice are talking about. You know what you gotta do. You might gotta do opposite to you. You might gotta do something you feel. You gotta start doing it. It's always the opposite that melts the ice. And the video's a little long, but I didn't mean to make a long video like this, but there's a lot, you know what I mean, really. I didn't mean to, but it's that, you need to do. You any day how you feel. Like I live in here by myself. How do you feel? Who cares about how you can get some of that? How do you feel? Who loves you? You know what I mean? Who's there for you? So yeah, not that ice.